to the whole world down, to the whole world down.
Did you get Granny's stuff shipped off?
Not yet, unfortunately, because whenever I got there, they actually, well, I forgot my wallet. And but the good news is I checked and I said, okay, well, if I ship it out today, when will it get there? And they said Friday. I'm like, so if I ship it out tomorrow, it'll get there by Saturday? And he was like, yeah, at the latest. So she'll still get it this week. Let's see. Do we have... I think this is correct. Is this correct? Okay. Let's go here. Let's see. We'll say that's not how you spell streaming. Streaming now. And since I'm lazy, we'll just copy and paste. Oh, come on. Come on. Okay. Hello, everybody. Let's see, is this working good? Where is the... I can never find this. Okay. Where's the stupid... Here we go. Alright, hello everybody. Hope you are all having a wonderful Tuesday night. Let me double check, let me check the stream, just make sure everything's working fine. Wonderful Tuesday night. Let me double check, let me check the stream, just make sure everything's working fine. Okay, it appears that everything is working as it should. Hello everybody. Hello Vacuum Carpet Cleaner Guy. Hello Jacob. Hello Mahayman Ahmed. Hello LB Vax ASMR. Hello Ethan. Hello Liana. Hello. Hey there. Hello Dylan. Hello Rick Hoover. Hello Wisdom. Hello Christina. Hello Sebastian. Hello Vac Amy. Hello LB Vax and ASMR. It's been a while. Hello Luke. Good to see ya. Good to see ya. How do I join the voice chat? Here we go. I'll get you an invite link. Copy. This is to Alex's, if you don't know Alex, he runs the channel Performance Reviews. He has a Vacuum Collectors Alliance Discord server because I've pretty much abandoned my Discord server in the sense of I'm not really bothering to add new people to it. We're just going to kind of have just a centralized server that both Alex, I, and a few other people are moderating. So, I mean, technically it is Alex's server, but, you know, I am a mod in it, so I guess I do contribute at least a little bit. But either way, it's just kind of one less thing I have to worry about. But I will still be keeping, for those who are in my server already, I will still be keeping my server up just as a backup, and at some point I'm probably going to talk to Alex and see if we can coordinate that just to get everybody in my server as well, so that way there's another backup in case the server goes down again. Do you like performance reviews? Oh, well, perfectly on topic. Yes, I do like Alex. He's a cool guy. Yeah, he has a lot of good experience in the industry, definitely a lot more than I have, but I mean, you know, to be fair, he's also much older, so that kind of comes with the territory. But he definitely is, he makes a lot of great content, and especially recently his content's been so much better. A lot of his reviews have been really good quality. Not saying they were bad quality before, but in some of his older videos he used to be prone to a lot of editing mistakes, but you know, a lot of his newer videos are really good quality, And even honestly, they were always good quality. It was just kind of they've been put together a lot better now, and he's been really improving his channel. And I'd like to think that I'm doing the same thing. So that's definitely really nice. A lot of our sort of peeps in the similar sort of sub count range got to stick together, and Alex and I are pretty similar as far as our sub counts, which is kind of interesting because his channel has been around for a lot longer, but it seems like it's just recently started growing a lot more, which I'm definitely really proud of his channel for being able to grow, and he's a really cool dude. So definitely can't say enough good things about him. Alex is 2K ahead. Well, yeah, that's why I said we're in about a similar range, but he usually is. He's usually about 1,000 or 2,000 ahead of me. At least he's been recently. So, not that it's a competition. It's certainly not a competition. But I mean, I would definitely say that we're in a similar category because you have your vacuum channels that are in like the 1,000 range. A lot of like the older ones that don't really stay updated. You have people like Vacmaster the Great, Phantom Vacuum Fan, Phantom Lightning that are kind of in that 1,000 range, and then you got people like me and Alex who are in like that 1,000, a few thousand range, and there's quite a few others as well. And then you have like iBaziac and Vacuum Wars that are in like the 100,000 sub range. So there's definitely, obviously I'm generalizing, there's obviously quite a lot of vacuum channels that are somewhere in between, and again, it's not a competition, but I just mean we're on kind of a similar level in that aspect. So hopefully, ideally, in an ideal world, we would all be up in that 100,000 million sub range, and making tens of thousands of dollars a month. But you got to start somewhere. And I'm happy where the channel's at right now. I appreciate everyone who's been watching the videos and who continues to watch. And I really appreciate all the support that I've gotten. And at some point this week, at least assuming that I don't procrastinate and put it off more, I'll be opening up the channel's Patreon. So that way, if you want to contribute to the Patreon and go directly to supporting the channel, then that is wonderful. But in the meantime, there's still super chats, and of course just simply watching the videos. All of that helps, and all of that is really nice. So let's see. I shall start to get good views. Chance, want me to join the VC? It's not showing stream chat on my screen. That's a bit odd. If it's not showing the stream, if it's not showing the chat, make sure it's enabled. Especially if you're on a phone, there should be a little toggle up in the corner that'll show it if you're in landscape mode. And if not, you can always do it on a computer. Although it should work just fine on a phone too. Getting the Fury this Saturday. That's wonderful. I got a Bissell last week and it has clogged filters, but I cleaned it and now it's good. Oh, that's nice. Very, very nice. Let's see. You sell Bissell vacuums? Yes, I do. Will you own a Hoover Decade 80? Ideally, yes. There's a Decade 80 in like a tealish, like turquoise color that I really would like to get. Still not working for me. Refresh your page. Close out of the... I'm assuming you're on a phone. Close out of the YouTube app and open it up again. It's probably just a glitch. It's happened before. Hopefully you can't hear me eating chicken. I was going to eat this chicken prior to the stream, but I forgot, and unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I wanted to start the stream at an exact time, but yeah, the turquoise Decade 80 without the headlight. No, specifically the one with the headlight. The headlight is the reason why I want the Decade 80, is because I really like the way the headlight looks on it. Because otherwise, I mean, you guys probably know, I'm not a fan of those those styles of vacuums. Like the FNGs or the convertibles, or... I mean, I like the convertibles, but they're not my favorite. I prefer, like, an elite style machine. Apologies to those wearing headphones. My dog decided to bark for no reason to be incredibly obnoxious. Ruby, why did you bark? There's literally there's no one here.
Yes, hi. Who's a good girl? Why are you barking? Why are you barking? Stop it. Stop it.
Where's Ruby? Discord is not working for me. I can't join the VC on the new server. Well, it sounds like everything's just breaking for you, LB. And I'm sorry to hear that. I could switch it over to the face cam.
Ruby. Get up here.
Hi, Woolburs. She probably wants my chicken.
Ruby. Ruby. Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Oh, look at that face. Look at that beautiful face.
Aw. Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Yeah, who's a good girl? Yeah.
No. Can't get to my chicken. That's my chicken. This is my chicken. You can't have it. You're looking at it, aren't you? You want it? But you can't have it. It's mine. It's human chicken. It's not doggy chicken. Now go. Go, go, go. Go. Get.
Yeah, alright. Do. More chicken. All it shows is general and AFK. Stream chat isn't there. Oh, do you not have access to stream chat? Let me switch it over to general then. There we go. Okay, I switched it over to general because apparently I didn't even realize that the stream chat is apparently locked. So hopefully this will work now.
What's working?
There we go.
Is everybody there?
Yeah, but I'm here.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Chance.
Hello.
Oh, I forgot to tell you something.
Yeah?
The base for the 12v1's messed up.
Your mic's muffled right now.
Hold on a second.
What's up, Chance? How's your day going?
Good. Am I able to turn my camera on this? Let's see. Is that gonna work? I don't think it is because I think it's being taken up by OBS.
It might
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
But usually when you have your camera or something like that, it won't work on Discord.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My brother tried it, it didn't work.
Yeah, that makes sense. It can't use this. It can't use two sources at once, but that's okay. If I need to do that, I can just do it like this. Oh, there you go. You can see my shirt, Sonic the Hedgehog. Woohoo!
Hey, Marco.
Hey, Ralph. Dude, my 6594 is dead.
Oh, that's
It's
not
dead.
good.
Yeah, I was trying to order the bearings in the motor. That motor bearings. It was about to blow up.
What? It sound like a shop siren or something.
It sounds like little siren because I don't know what's going on.
You messed up the fan.
I think I messed up.
Hmm.
Yeah, you broke the fan.
Maybe I don't know. I was not working right or something.
You want my 6579-2 motor for it then?
Yeah, I wanted the dash two.
Okay, I'll send you that.
Wait, so Tran, is it dash two and the 6594 they're compatible or non compatible?
I don't see why they wouldn't be.
They're basically the same motors.
They're the same vacuum, other than the wide path base.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
in terms of I mean, because it's the same. I see no. If it's not the exact same motor, I see no reason why it wouldn't be compatible. And especially because the only thing, if you had an original 6594, then I wouldn't be as sure, because the 6594 has a wide beam headlight, but both the Dash 2 and the Dash W have the standard peanut sized bulb headlight. So everything that connects to the motor is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Not by OBS.
I get the point.
Yeah. So either way, it should work just fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dog.
Mm.
I just got done vacuuming with my orange downstairs.
WTF are you doing on a Discord call? What?
I mean, what would you do? What else would you do on a Discord call other than talk to people? That's kind of the point.
Yeah, that language, man. That language is strong.
That's fine. I don't mind the language on the streams. The streams are the times that we can all be a little bit loose. But as far as the main videos are whenever we keep it PG.
No, nobody ain't mad at you, Aiden.
Aiden, I haven't even seen you before, so it's physically impossible for me to be mad at you. Unless you did something and I don't remember it. But either way.
Oh, Chance, I'm going to tell you this, but my local Big Lots actually sells the Power Group bagless still.
All of them do. It's people keep speculating that it's been discontinued, but every time that I go to Big Lots, it's still there. So at least as of now, it hasn't been discontinued.
And I hope this doesn't, because those are still good machines.
I expected it to be discontinued a lot longer ago, but apparently not. Like, they discontinued the CleanView
95.
The CleanView Deluxe, whatever the hell it's called, and I know they discontinued it because I got the last one that they had. Because they have the newer style CleanViews there now, but somehow, even with that, they have the newest CleanView next to the old style, what is basically an old style 2012 Helix Turbo.
Yep.
So, but I mean, I guess I'm not
I
complaining.
had one of those before, but the motor messed up then.
I'm glad they still make that, because I know some people are like, oh, that design sucks, get rid of it. But here's the thing, if they're still making it, then that means there's still plenty of parts out there for people who have the old machines. So that's always a good thing, to have at least something out there where you can get parts from. And
Yeah.
I've even heard of some people who are in shops who are buying those power grooms. Whenever they're on sale, they're buying them and using them, basically parting them out. So that way they can actually service machines that come in at the shop, like the red ones. So that's definitely pretty interesting that they still have that on the market. I expected it to actually not last as long as the 9595s, but nope, those were discontinued right after I got mine. They discontinued it. So, and there was on Amazon, the green one came back for like a solid week, and then those sold out again. This is like
I wonder how they're getting these.
Just new old stock.
Go for it if I saw a 6583 just old stock.
Dude, that would be cool. If I could get a Oric with a new stock, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like,
I know not too long ago you could still find the old stock of like the Auric edges and Auric touches, but those are gone now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Oric, I'm getting the XL2 Ultra.
Oh, that's nice.
Dude, like, you know the Outback, the checker, the chessboard, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I'm getting that from Tyler from the vacuum, known as the vacuum corrector.
Oh, that's cool.
Like,
Hey,
honestly, like, what? Go
So,
ahead.
so have you decided for sure if you're gonna sell that power clean or not?
I listed, so I already listed
Oh, you did.
for you. I
So-
listed for you, so
yeah.
it's
Send me the link to that when you get a chance.
yeah. I'm gonna send you a link on a private chat, like on your chat private. So
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I think I can find it for you and send it to you.
no. I can send the link, dude.
It's fine. Whatever. I mean, just because I think because the other two that you got they're kind of similar to machines I already have. I'm still gonna get them, but I'm saying I want to get the power clean first since it's the most interesting of the three. If that makes sense.
A little bit, but I think that's pretty.
And then at the latest, I'll get the other two with my next paycheck.
There we go. I sent you a link.
Perfect.
Sent your
Thank you.
Chat. Your own chat. The private chat. And that's
Yep. Here, I'll open this up on my phone.
Hey, Chance, how are the Phantoms doing?
I'm doing good. I haven't used the ones that are at my dad's. I still haven't used in quite a while, but of course I still have the two Furies here, and the first one that I got I still use on occasion to do some cleaning, even though it obviously has a worn out brush roll and stuff, but I just like using it, even though I really shouldn't because it obviously it's not good for the thing, but I did pull the thing apart and I did a full service on it, so it's it definitely has probably a good, if I had to guesstimate, it probably has a good, if you were going to use it as a daily driver like literally every day, then I would say it still has a probably good maybe like 3 years of life left in it, if not longer than that. But obviously when you give it some time to rest, because that motor definitely is pumping out a lot of heat, so it's definitely not in the best condition. But it's also not like, I looked at the inside of it, it's not like burned or anything, but if you use it every day then it may get to that point, so I try to be careful with it. But I only ever vacuum the living room with it anyways. So,
The main one I usually grab is my 6583 because I just love that thing.
yeah. I got one
And
of
it works
those
good
I
too.
don't- Yeah, if I do use a Bissell as a daily, I mean my daily right now is the Sanitaire, the Sanitaire that basically is a Bissell,
Yeah.
and so that's basically my daily driver at this point. But if I was going to use an actual Bissell daily driver, I'm getting another 3522. I'm getting a -1 from another collector, so I'll have two 3522s.
Oh,
And,
cool.
the -1 is probably the one that I'll use, just for whenever I want a headlight on a vac. But there's a few others. And the only other one that I might use is, while I'm not a fan of bagless, if I was going to use a bagless Bissell, it would be the 6594-W that I put the different base on. So, yeah.
Oh, you mean one of those almost like a -2?
Yeah.
wait. So you still parse from -3. You put that -2 design.
Right.
Basically.
Yeah, it's like the same thing. I can tell, but dude, if I ever find a -2, -3, I'll steal the motor and put on my 6594.
But yeah, I can send you the motor that was MI-2. I can send you the motor for it. It works perfectly.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Because the motor that I got from Marketplace is the one I got from Marketplace for like $20. But man, that thing was nasty when I first got it.
Yep, I decided to keep my Clean View Evolution Deluxe. I decided to keep mine.
That's good. But you haven't used that thing in a long time, man.
Yeah, I ran that thing yesterday. It picks up well fluff.
Which one did you use to suck up drywall dust?
The lift off?
Oh, no, dude, why?
Dude, I had to because I had a vacuum before I
You could have used something else, man. You
If
paid
you
too much
if you
money
are
for
gonna
that
vacuum
at all.
if you are gonna vacuum out drywall dust, you want to use a bypass machine with a HEPA bag. So if you had like a Power Force and you put like one of those Clean Fairy bags in it, that'd probably be the best thing to use for
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Dude, I don't have any clean fairies. I have Febreze bag.
Yeah, you could use those, but those would let a lot of dust through and you would end up losing suction pretty quickly. So, but honestly, there's no reason to not use the Clean Fairies over the Febrezes unless they're just not in stock, because you get so many more bags and the filtration quality is better. And if you want the scent of Febreze, you could still put a Febreze exhaust filter on it, or just spray some Febreze after you vacuum.
Yeah. How much are clean fairy bags? I need to get some.
They're really cheap. They're
I use
Sorry.
these.
Yeah, sorry, I took a bite right when you asked me that question. So those Clean Fairy bags you can get. Well, if you get the paper ones, they're even cheaper, but don't bother with the paper ones. But if you want the HEPA ones, which you do definitely want the HEPA ones, you get 20 of them for only $18.
Is it a good price for it?
They're well, yeah, because I mean, otherwise, if you buy like the Febreze or you get just any of the other cheap bags, those are like $10 for like 3 of them. So getting 20 bags for $18 is just infinitely a better deal, and they're better quality bags too because they're actually HEPA.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
better in every single way, because I don't know of many other Style 7 HEPA bags off the top of my head, and they're cheaper than, as opposed to like, Hoover Y. They're cheaper than that, although Hoover's Y are usually genuine, so that makes sense why they're more expensive.
Yo,
But
Is that
yeah, I mean,
performance
I've
there's-
seen a video on that 1398 that you saw when you don't want to explain not to put on not wrong bag or put the correct bag.
yeah,
On cards,
I see that all the time where either customers or just people who throw away machines will just use the wrong bag, or they won't seal it correctly, and the entire thing just gets full of dust. And obviously some vacuums are worse than others, so like a lot of vacuums where the bags don't have gaskets, or if they're this also happens a lot for direct air machines, because I'm assuming it's because of just the way the pressure is, or just because of them being older machines and not being sealed as well. You get a lot of back dusting on the bag collar and inside the whole machine, and it's just a mess. So it baffles me that there was a time when gaskets on bags weren't common. I mean, I know why, because certain vacuums can kind of get away with it, but it's just it's
It went
just
on
really
for
annoying
way
to see.
too long, Mr. Crazy.
Then
That
what?
performance-
It went on into the early 2000s. It went on.
Well, yeah, because even weren't Hoover Y bags for a while didn't even have gaskets. At least I don't know if the genuine ones did or did
No,
not,
no,
but I know.
they did it until TTI bought them. That was one of the improvements TTI did to Hoover.
Yeah, I can't
And,
believe it took them that long.
And Kenmore was a big component of that bullshit too.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh God.
Yeah. I don't know why that was a thing for so long.
That's awful. I can't, like, who in their right mind, like, because these people, like, they test the machines before they send them out, right? At least I'd like to
No,
think so.
they don't. A lot of times they don't.
Well, they
No,
fucking
yeah.
should.
But
Or
like,
the-
I grew up with Electrolux machines, which in the 70s and 80s and 50s even had that gasket. So to me, it's just like a normal thing a vacuum would have.
Yeah, or it's like, even worst case scenario, like if you didn't test a product before you buy it, you would think the people that made those vacuums would have bought one themselves and used it in their house, and you would have thought that after a while they would have noticed, oh, this thing's full of dust. Maybe we should go back to the drawing board and fix this. But I guess they just
No,
they obviously
dust
don't
was
care.
not a concern, and until like the mid 90s, dust was actually not a concern for vacuum cleaners at all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can thank a couple of companies, Eureka and Miele particularly, really pushed that narrative of let's clean up our vacuums and not have that dust coming out of them. I know Eureka's kind of a meme company now, but
Well, I mean, back then, I mean, we've seen all those
Yeah.
old commercials of like how Whirlwind Victory is the best filtering
that was-
vacuum, in
yeah,
its
that
price
was one of
range.
the first sealed HEPA machines you could buy.
Yeah,
on the whole market. You know?
It's kind of funny how it's like, it's amazing how like they managed to get the sealed system right before they even got an efficient bagless system right, which you could argue still isn't even right today.
I mean, I feel at the time that Eureka was trying to exploit customers by overcharging them for bagless filters. That was their first strategy is, oh, we don't have to sell them bags, we're going to sell them more filters. That was the first strategy they tried.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the HEPA filters on the backs of the Whirlwinds and Victories were pretty expensive, weren't they?
Yeah, but you had to replace, you remember, it used to say replace once a month the little yellow filter underneath the dirt cup along with the white filter, and they would sell them in 4-packs.
Oh, I forgot about that. I keep forgetting about those.
I mean, that was like something, I spent a lot of time repairing those machines back in the day. They're absolutely horrible stuff that, you know, why that even went on again is questionable.
Yeah, well it's kind of, it kind of baffles me too, because it's like, customers saw how bad like they were charging for those filters and all that, and yet you would have thought, like logically speaking, that if you were back then and you had to guess, oh, which technology is going to prevail going forward, you would have looked at those filters and thought, oh, well, obviously that's going to keep bagless from taking over. We're still going to have
that's why they
machines.
went to the big cup system later.
Oh yeah, I actually I just got one of those big cups, and literally that little cone-shaped filter that's on the inside of it, I took it out, and clearly the people who had it never cleaned it because...
Well, and vacuum shops were stuck with those filters for years. So if your old school vacuum shop you've mentioned a few times,
yeah,
they probably have those in stock, or at least threw them out at one time, because every shop I've been to has 30 of those just sitting around.
Well, nothing. I know the store does definitely have some of those aforementioned HEPA filters NOS. I know that for sure. Because I've looked at them and I've thought about getting one, because he wants like $10 for it, but I'm just kind of like, do I want to spend that? I don't know. I never use this thing.
I think it's worth spending it, even if you never use it, just to preserve it. Why you can still get the filter.
That's true. That's a good point.
And that's why I was like talking to you the other day about maybe doing some Amazon links or doing some like extra stuff so that you had some extra revenue for that sort of thing. I'm glad you have a Patreon now.
I'm about to launch it, yeah. I've been setting it up. And sorry if I sound weird, it's because I'm eating chicken. But
oh, I'm going to go eat dinner here in a minute. I'm just sitting here playing video games, and somebody said, oh, Tracy's streaming. I thought I'd join you.
I'm glad you decided to... Excuse me while I choke to death. I'm glad you decided to stop by. And while I chew this chicken, why don't you talk about some stuff? Fill the time gap.
Why don't I talk about some stuff?
Sure, why not?
I have a question for you, Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed in the vacuum community there are a lot of unsupervised children running around.
Mm-hmm.
You get somebody who's 12, 13, 14 years old running around on the internet. In my humble opinion, they should be supervised by the parent unless they're somehow very mature for their age.
Which happens, but not usually.
But like over the years, I've had to block just some random nasty people over the years, and I was just wondering if you've had any of that go on, who are potentially weird or.
Oh, for sure.
I'm not trying to name any names or put anybody down, but.
No. I totally understand, but I will say that. Well, I'll preface it by saying the first ever. Here's an interesting thing. The first ever comment I ever got on my YouTube channel, on the first video I ever released back in 2015. Right when I posted the video, there was a comment of a guy who doxed me and posted all my information. So
I mean, that's an.
Yeah.
And how old were you then?
I had just turned 15.
Okay, so that's.
It was probably
that's the sort of thing.
someone from
I guess
school,
I feel like if I was a
realistically.
parent, I wouldn't let a 15-year-old have a YouTube channel, unsupervised at least.
Well, I was never posting anything like ridiculous on there, so I can understand why I as a personal example was allowed to, and I mean to think about it, if I was a parent, I would be fine with that as long as the simple solution is just subscribe to your kid's channel and see what they're putting out, and if they put out anything stupid, obviously you have to trust them to the point that they're not going to dox themselves or post anything. Bad or anything, at least to get to that point where they would be able to have a channel. But as long as you've crossed that threshold or you never had a kid where that was a concern in the first place, then yeah, as long as you sub to their channel, check on them occasionally, ask them how it's going. Just be like, hey, how's your channel going? Have you gotten any good growth? What are you making videos on? Do you want some help with it? That sort of thing. So
Yeah, I'm just talking about like unsupervised kids who can't really handle interacting with the general population, or
yeah,
worse yet,
there are
people who do bad things to kids, and
yeah.
that's
Oh yeah. Well,
unfortunate.
I unfortunately know about that firsthand. But I will say that a lot of once in a while I'll get like a mean nasty comment, and obviously I can never tell like for sure who it's actually from. But as far as like people saying like, oh, you're a dick or whatever, saying something mean in the comment section, that never really bothered me. But I do think that some parents should be a little bit more not controlling, because the reason this is a touchy subject, I think, is because people will go way too far in either direction, where they'll either let their kids run wild and do whatever they want, or they will like completely like lock them down from everything and basically shield them from life in general.
Some parents don't do it
And
right,
it's-
but I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
gonna judge a parent on that. I'm just saying, like,
I
I
will.
see some of these people over the years who have interacted, and you've seen Vacuum Land ban some of these people, even in they don't
Yeah.
ban anybody. Certain Facebook groups have gotten.
Yeah.
Some friends of mine have had a term for them. They call them Hoover Juniors. Uh,
That's cute.
and
I like that.
and they short it for HoovJube, which sounds like something else. But they're
That
really
sounds
just
like a
talking about
racial
Hoover.
slur, but okay.
Yeah, that's that's kind of the way they use it. But it was just something I wondered if you had any interaction with, because that's been a problem. Occasionally,
Yeah.
you'll have somebody, and then they'll spam all sorts of things, or some of these kids are real deranged
Yeah.
on the internet. I mean, but we'll talk about positive things now.
Well, I will. I'll finalize this topic by spinning it in a positive way, because I will say that on the very rare occasion I will get a mean comment, and usually it only happens on one of my more popular videos, which I
Yeah,
don't.
this is like a once or twice a year thing when there's one of these kids.
Yeah, like it's relative for me. It's usually pretty rare, and at least it is nowadays. I've actually noticed as my channel has grown more, it seems like that's been less prevalent. Probably because I'm attracting more positive people to the channel, and that's offsetting a lot of the other people who would otherwise be mean or nasty. And I've just noticed that for every like comment where someone's like, "Oh, you're a dickhole, go kill yourself" or whatever, which they're never even that bad. But let's just say that for the sake of
I've never
argument,
had
they're
any
that bad.
of those. I haven't had
But-
anybody be so lolty.
No, yeah. I think maybe I think I kind of have a maybe my rationale for not getting those comments now is because I got a lot of those comments in person in school when I was little. I'm starting to think that.
Oh
kind
yeah,
of,
we've all done. Public schools are the worst place. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I will never send my children to maybe a charter school, but never a general public school. They're just too bad.
I don't necessarily think it's a problem with public school in general. I just think it depends on the school specifically, because I personally have my own problems with charter schools, but that's a separate issue.
That's a
And,
separate issue. Yeah.
But the point that I'm making is that, I mean, that particular school, I've since moved schools since then, and the school that I went to when I moved into this town, it was a lot better. But point is that my internal logic is, well, maybe that was when all of those negative people just kind of got their fix, so to speak, and then now there's like, it's almost like each people have like credits. There's like a certain number of negative credits that can be used on a person, and like once it runs out, then it's just gone, and there's nothing but positive stuff left. That's a little funny way I sort of think about it. So basically, my credits have run out. So now all the things that are left are people who are either really nice or people who are so bad at being negative that it's actually just really funny and entertaining to see.
Yeah.
And you
A lot
actually
of those
enjoy
are
it.
really.
Yeah. So I think that's what's happening. Because I get stories all the time of parents who are like, "Oh my God, my kid's been watching your videos. They absolutely love it. They'll they want to watch your channel, and it's playing all the time. And you helped us find a new vacuum." And
Yeah,
I
think your content is more kid friendly than mine, because I like rate mine age restricted.
Oh yeah, I don't do that.
You know me.
Oh yeah.
I say whatever I feel like saying.
You're a lot more unfiltered, and there's nothing wrong with that. I actually like that because because not everyone in the vacuum section of YouTube is doing the same thing. So if you want the more kid friendly content, you come to me. If you want the more sort of racy, more off the cuff, entertaining content, you go to you, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So,
Now, are you going to do any more, speaking of content, are you going to do any more like repair content? Because like I see a lot of the befores on your channel. I don't see as many like afters. Oh, I fixed this up, or this is where this machine's at. Like, do you ever do like a vacuum saved update?
I have done it a couple times, but I will admit I haven't done it nearly as often as like what you mentioned, and I do need to get more in the habit of doing that. There are some exceptions where like, on a certain machine, when I review it, I'll be like, this is what I fixed up on it. And once in a while, I'll do a repair video, but I do agree that I need to do more. And I need to do more of that sort of thing. Because for a while, I did like 1 or 2 episodes of like, oh, here's an update. Here's all these machines that I fixed. And here's how they look like now. But I need to do more of those.
Because like, I don't know if you watch Sam's channel, but he usually does like that before and after thing. And to me, that's super satisfying to watch.
Oh, yeah. And I've also kind of wanted to do more. I mean, now that I finally got my tripod back, I've been wanting to do more like actual during videos. Here's where I got it. Here's me restoring it up, or maybe not all of it, but at least a good chunk of it. And then here it is. Now that it's finally done.
It's a good way to do it. Because like I think what Hooverlux does when he speeds up the actual repair and just shows it for like 2 minutes or whatever is probably better for most people than like what I do, which is more of like here's the complete in-depth strip down of the machine for 40 minutes. Definitely the shorter is better.
Yeah, and I think my personal thoughts on that is I do think that the speed up thing is more entertaining, especially if you're like ADHD and you're just like, I just want to get through this and I don't want to sit here and wait on it. But my issue with that is if I'm watching the video as a tutorial and I'm trying to follow along, it's really difficult to do that if it's going so fast that you can't really tell what they're doing.
Well, that's the cool thing about YouTube is you can slow it down or speed it up now.
Oh, right, yeah. So there definitely is a balance to it, but if I had to pick just one or just the other, then personally I like the longer form content because I know, like, because the problem is if you make a short video, people are like, oh, this is too short, make it longer. But then if it's too long, people say, oh, it's too long. But between the two, I'd rather it be too long, because if it's too long, you can just skip through it. Whereas if it's too short, you can't just stick more video on the end of it. That's something that I would have to do, So, like, from a viewer perspective, I'd rather something be long form than not. But there's usually a balance to it. But sometimes it's easier.
Yeah, I just thought I would ask about that because I haven't seen. I think I've only seen one update from you. That's why I was asking. I'm just curious where these machines go or how they look when you're done with them. Other than the Phantoms, because I've seen those.
Of course you have. Well, actually, I don't think I released the video. I did a full video on my service of this Fury behind me, but I don't think I ever released that. So I need to get that edited and uploaded just because, I'll be honest, sometimes it just gets to the point where I have so many videos like in the queue and then I honestly just straight up forget about them, which is really bad because my memory is just shot to shit. So sometimes I'll remember like a year later, like, oh, I forgot I did that video. So
yep, I have a whole SSD that's full of videos that are edited or need to be uploaded, so I can keep track of them. And then I've got a RAID cluster that they move to after they've been uploaded and scheduled.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of how I do it. If it's of any use to you knowing that.
Well, I mean that's kind of similar. Like sometimes I do need to get in the habit of like at the very least sticking it in a folder or something, which I did used to do, but the problem is that I've got some things that I edit on my phone. I got some things to edit on my computer, and it's all just like all over the place. I need to kind of organize.
I don't do any
more.
phone editing. So.
Yeah, I'm aware. You've mentioned that before, but
I don't do any. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's also because it wouldn't make sense for you because you film on an actual DSLR, right?
Well, yeah, it's a mirrorless camera. I think the Nikon DSLR is a horrible deal, personally.
What kind of camera is it?
It's a Sony mirrorless.
Sony mirrorless.
Yeah, or they're also they go by Sony Alpha.
Sony
But
Alpha.
they're one of the easier ones to work with.
Yeah. I mean, I have no problem operating a camera. It's just a. Babe, are you okay? I just heard a bunch of stuff crash in the background. Anyways, so let's see, Sony Alpha, Jesus. But yeah,
it's like the YouTube camera of choice. It's like the most basic pitch camera.
Oh yeah, because I have no problem using a camera. It's just I've just gotten so used. What the fuck?
Yeah, phones are handy.
Board.
Did someone?
Hey
say
Marco, look what I
something?
did to 12v1.
You did put the Helix turbo base.
Because when Chance didn't bubble wrap it, the base broke. So I had to switch it again.
Hey Marco, show Alex your collection, real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this in Discord? Sorry,
Oh yeah.
I'm doing multiple things at once. So let's see.
No, show them all the Bissells. There we go.
Oh yeah. You were showing me these last night or the night before, or whatever.
It's about a couple of days ago. Performance reviews. Oh, is it name Alex or?
Yeah.
It is Alex, but I have a bad memory when it comes to machines, and the worst thing is once you've seen a couple thousand machines, or tens of thousands of machines, things get real blurry in your memory.
Yeah.
For me, it's the opposite.
If you're ever interested in my vacuums, you can go on my offer up to Alex.
I don't think he's gonna buy any of your vacuums. Just being real.
I'm not too interested in Bissells, but I appreciate that somebody is at least saving them.
Well, what other machines do you like besides Bissell's?
I'm sorry?
What other machines are you besides Bissell's?
He's not gonna like anything
Do
you
I like?
have. Realistically.
Yeah, I
speaking.
typically like canister vacuums. I typically don't do much with uprights. I have a small club. I do have like maybe 30 or 40 uprights, but
30 or 40. I have a small collection.
Of uprights, yeah, I probably have but I very much like really highly engineered, very sophisticated mechanical machines.
Yeah, so
That's typically when I go
so
over.
nothing made by Bissell unless it's like weird or quirky enough to get his attention. Like
yeah, I think that
I'm sure he'd like
I
a
think
pro light or something like that, right? Maybe
like
something like that.
Well, the DigiPro is the machine I'd like to get my hands on.
Oh.
If there are any left, like it's technically a Samsung, but whatever, you know.
Right. It's funny because I know those DigiPros sold for like a very long time, but it seems like nobody ever noticed.
Nope.
Because I know
a lot of Bissells just get thrown away right away.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, like, no collectors noticed that it was even, like, still for sale. Like, people thought it was discontinued long before it actually was.
Yeah, and there were several versions of it.
Yeah. So...
ATNs.
Over the years.
Yep.
This is what I done to the 12v1 because the base was messed up.
Oh, cool. Got it working.
How do you like it?
It looks like a vacuum cleaner.
Be honest.
Yeah, it's a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's a vacuum cleaner. It sucks, and that one blows dust.
Yeah, it sucks and it blows.
Yeah.
That one blows dust.
They blow dust a lot. Like, if you don't clean these filters, don't blow dust.
Yep, that's very true. Yeah, you would... I'm sure most people would probably have a stroke if they actually saw what that Whirlwind Big Cup looked like whenever I grabbed it, and the Bissell that I got alongside it. But somewhere there's I don't know if I posted a picture in the news server of those machines, but either way, I definitely
I remember it was a red Big Cup, right?
Was it red or was it black? Oh, it was like a burgundy-ish, like red,
yeah,
like a dark red. Yeah,
I've got
it was an
a
electronic.
4870 that I need to pick up. It's the same color.
3870.
4870.
Oh, okay. Is that a big?
Hey,
Phil,
Chance,
is
you
that
still
a
have
big
that
cup?
power?
The what?
You still have the power your multi-supply or something?
I do. It's in my shed right now because I just kind of gave up on fixing it, honestly. Just because I haven't been able to find the proper motor that it uses, and if I realistically would, it'd probably be too expensive to make it worth it anyways. So I'm just gonna wait, and I'm just gonna stick it in my shed. If I find one for almost free, I'll grab it. But otherwise, I honestly have just lost interest in that machine. I've just lost so much interest in those bagless Bissells at this point, other than like one or two, just for the fuck of it. And that's only because the bagged ones are just so hard to find nowadays. The power glides and stuff are just. I'm surprised I found the power glides that I was able to, because it's just and I still want to find one of the original Samsung ones, the Quiet Storm or Quiet Jet. But those are certainly long gone by now.
Yeah, that's the problem with like anything. It's just like Lewitt's are all gone for the same reason as they were a disposable machine.
Right.
And that's so like with disposable machines, you kind of have to get them within the first 5 years they come out. Otherwise, they become just super hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
And I've kind of like, I really like anytime I can buy a new machine. I always appreciate that. Like if I can find something for $100, $200, it always makes me happy.
Yeah.
That's a lie right there. Never lose suction.
Never lose a suction. Powerful cleaning. Yep, that's.
Yeah. That's. And I do have to say that a lot of the suction loss that people complain about are broken belts, and that's something that's been largely addressed by modern vacuums.
Right. Well, the problem is that those modern vacuums you're referred to aren't what people are buying, which is unfortunate.
Well, in your area, in my area, even sharks are, don't have a belt to replace. So, I'll give them that.
Well, yeah, and I see. Well, sharks are very popular in my area
And,
too.
and even
Unfortunately.
a Hoover Airspeed has a lifetime belt. So there are numerous ones that do.
Right.
And going back to like the 4870, that was one of the first attempts. Now you had a 4870 you posted pictures of, but the switch was all fucked up on it.
Which one's the 4870 again?
A Eureka 4870?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, they slapped so many names on them. Sometimes they say SmartVac, sometimes they say Boss. It has an idler pulley and like a Kevlar belt set up.
Are you talking about
but
the SmartVac that I have?
Yeah. That's one of the words that they call
yeah,
them.
because
The model number is called 4870.
Yeah, I don't remember. See, Bissell's I know the model numbers too, but almost anything else I don't know the model numbers off the top of my head.
And that was one of the most common machines that I would see in for repair next to like a Hoover self-propelled wind tunnel, the U6400 series. Like those were, I have literally touched tens of thousands of those probably.
Yeah. I'm happy in the fact that I can count the number of self-propels that I've had to work on one hand, and I'm very grateful for that, because most of the ones that I got in were thankfully non-self-propelled, and those were so much easier. And
I really
so
don't
much better
mind the
machines.
self-propelled that Hoover had in their late self-propelled system. I've worked on enough of them; it just seems simple.
Yeah.
Just like, but it adds a level of complexity that doesn't need to be there, because they were able to release the Hoover Wind Tunnel T series, which doesn't need a self-propel because it's lightweight and it's been balanced.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the. Yeah, because I say that. The self-propels are not, they're definitely not like the worst vacuum to work on. Far from it, but
No.
it's just one of those
Have you
things
ever
where
gotten any of the recars, the dual motor recars, like the Brilliance or the Radiance? Those are probably the worst.
I've never got any recars in, honestly. I don't know if it's because. I don't know if it's because maybe I'm starting to think maybe it's because since I've never had an actual storefront, maybe people are only wanting to bring me cheap stuff. But I don't whatever the reason is, I've never had a recar in front of me.
you have to have an actual store that sells those and an active dealer in the area.
Yeah, my
there is
local
an active
shop.
dealer in St. Louis, and then I know you're smashed between several active dealers.
Right.
From my understanding, your geographical location. So without doxing you, saying there should be plenty in the wild, but they're probably going to their dealer versus having contact with you.
Exactly, or even throwing them out
nothing personal
because
or anything. Just
no. I totally get that. I wouldn't take that sort of thing personally. I totally understand if someone's like, it's just like how, you know, if you have like a hole in the wall shop that you go to, you know, you're probably not going to take your porch to it or whatever the case may be.
Exactly.
You know, so I don't take that personally, and I understand, and obviously my local shop, he deals in a lot of Riccar, he deals in a lot of Simplicity, a lot of Electrolux, or maybe I shouldn't say deals, but because I don't know if he's specifically a dealer, but he has a lot of them in the shop, and he gets a lot of them in a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the way to check if he's a dealer is just to, you know, go to the website of the brand and see if he's listed.
I would assume not, because I don't think I've seen new Riccars in there in quite a while. The new machines that I see him get are usually, you know, sometimes they'll get in Sanitaires, but I don't know if they're actually new. But the newest machines that I see him getting in were like Hoovers and those Carpet Pros, which I don't know who makes those.
Well, the Carpet Pros are made by Taconi. They're made by Taconi, and they don't make the Carpet Pros anymore. So he would have to get what's it called? Clean Max is what they go by. Robert really likes those machines.
So I guess in a way he is indirectly a Riccar Taconi dealer.
Well, you can get those Carpet Pros. They're made by Taconi, but you can get them from a wholesale vacuum parts distributor like Esco or Steel City.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Hold on. Plant. Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah.
So, anything interesting happened to you, Alex, recently that you want to share?
Me? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm playing Rainbow Six online, and I was yelling at my teammate. I'm sorry.
That's fun.
You wondered why, and we just won now because I yelled at him. So
That's done.
Good.
you know, me
I took
multitasking.
everything out of the fridge, took all the shelves out, and bleached them and cleaned them.
Is that why I kept hearing that crash in the background, because you were messing with the fridge?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for those who are watching the stream, the reason you heard all this crashes in the background is because my fiance was cleaning out the fridge and apparently dropping a bunch of stuff in the process.
Now, somebody in your comments section says Riccar is the Ferrari of vacuums. I want to say that's unfair to Ferrari. I would say Riccar is the Pontiac Ferrero of vacuums. If you know cars.
Ferraro.
Pontiac Ferrero, yeah, they caught fire. They were supposed to be a mid-engine sports car that GM made. And like everything else GM made, they were notably bad.
I just thought of Ferraro because I'm like I'm constantly doing I'm constantly like in the know about political stuff, but yeah. Ferraro. Anyways, let's see. SIBO is the best vacuum. Hey, there's a comment you'll agree with.
I think they're one of the better portable machines. I think the best vacuum is still Central Vacuum.
Portable machines, yeah.
Yeah. Again, I see really no reason if you're building a house from scratch or you have the ability not to install a Central Vacuum.
No, yeah.
Plus, it adds equity to your house. So it actually, if you plan on moving in 5 or 10 years, it doesn't actually cost you anything.
Right, at least in the long run.
Yeah, so that's just my 2 cents on that.
No, it sounds perfectly reasonable. It makes a ton of sense. You know,
Yeah, I mean, we have other things plumbed in. I mean, you wouldn't have, you wouldn't have a portable water heater. Why would you have a portable vacuum if you think about it? You know.
Makes sense. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of those things that, and just like anything else, there are bad central vacuums. Like,
well, yeah.
Like my parents had a horrible central vacuum in their house in Albuquerque. So they do exist.
Oh yeah, I would imagine. I don't think there's any industry that I can think of where there isn't a bad product somewhere in it. So, you know, that's just kind of comes with the territory. I mean, I could kind of see the argument where it's like, oh, but if you buy a bad portable vacuum, it's going to be a lot easier to get rid of it than if you install a bad central vacuum. I mean, I would
Well,
assume
a bad
that's the
central
point.
vacuum, the pipes are in the wall, and you just have to change out the unit, and then
No,
the
that's
hose
true.
is like a canister hose. You just plug in a new. So that's half of the central vacuum industry is cleaning up after bad units.
Oh,
I've got
that-
plenty of experience doing that. So it's actually really easy to do, especially since the hardware for central vacuums actually is standardized. So imagine if every vacuum manufacturer decided on the same hose end.
That'd be nice.
Right? That'd be nice. That's how central vacuums are. There's 2 different types of hose ends. Either it has a pigtail or direct connects, and then they're all the same from there.
So
maybe-
that's definitely not. So that's not a knock either. It's just as easy to
it's
upgrade
just-
central than a portable.
Yeah, it's absolutely easy to upgrade. And then, some of the units have the outlet on the left or the right-hand side, but a little bit of PVC pipe will fix that. And that's, again, it's, a 10-minute fix to upgrade a bad central vac.
Sweet.
Yeah. And the other thing that makes them really viable are the hose that hides in the wall. The hose
Hide-a-hose.
retraction systems are huge.
Hide a hose.
Hide-a-hose or the Chameleon the Chameleon's the one that's replacing the Hide-a-hose. It's got several improvements, but I mean that is just a huge improvement, especially if you have a house with hard floors and area rugs in one section or something. Like my main area is a hard floor area section of my house, so being able to just pull that out, clean it up real quick, and retract the hose is the fastest thing.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's fancy. Oh God, I just fell way back behind in the comments like I always tend to do.
Sorry.
Oh
It's
no,
really
no,
easy to
it's
do
not
that.
your. Oh yeah, no, it's not your fault. Definitely. I mean, at least not any more your fault than it is mine. So.
Find an animal 2 to use on my carpet. Maybe Refresh or Kirby. I want a Mila, but I'm not a canister person. So I guess that's the other thing this person's mentioning in the comments here is that the Mila has discontinued their upright. They're still old stock, but they're going to be either replacing the upright or just going straight with canisters. We're not sure yet.
Sorry,
'cause
I had
they
to
don't
switch
let
to another
everything
phone.
Oh, okay.
know. All right, glad to have you back.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, that's definitely and I will admit, it's like you definitely convinced me to at least at a bare minimum try Mila with an open mind, even if I've had some bad experiences with other canisters. Because obviously, I mean, maybe the Mila will knock my socks off and make me a canister person. Who knows?
I mean, having a good canister versus a bad canister, and like,
Well, I would hope so.
it's a big difference, and that, also the way a house is laid out. Certain canisters maneuver better in certain places.
Right.
Like somebody on Reddit today was like, "Oh, the SIBO D4." I'm not sure about it because you basically use the SIBO D4 like a central vac. You roll it into the center of the room, clean the room, and then roll it out. Where a lot of the more modern canisters follow you behind and kind of you use it more like an upright, if that makes sense to you. So it's constantly moving canister part. So I guess that's also a difference in how you use them. Do you ever get like the old big Kenmore canisters in your area? Those are pretty bad.
I've gotten a couple, and I hated them, and then I remembered at one point you made a video and you were like, "Oh, this is what makes people hate canisters," and I kind of thought about that, and I was like, maybe that is the not because look, family members or friends, if they ever had a canister, I don't care, what type of vacuums they normally buy. If they had a canister, it was a Kenmore, period. The end. Or it was a Panasonic one that was basically a Kenmore. So either way, it was a Kenmore. I guess maybe it's the other way around, but you know what I mean. It was always same storage style Kenmore, and usually, because I will admit, like the Kenmore that I got recently, the canister, the one that I got, the older style, like 90s one that's like more squarular. That's not a word, but either way, that one I do kind of like. I do like it better than any of the newer style Kenmore canisters, but it's still not the best. And I definitely can understand why using those, why that gave me a pretty bad impression of canisters. And it was kind of like what someone said earlier about how, if you grew up with canisters, you're probably going to like them more. If you grew up with uprights, you're probably going to like them more.
Exactly.
Just 'cause
We're fortunate of
comfortable.
habit. It's like people who aren't used to manual transmissions might not ever get used to one, might not ever like one. There's
Yep, that's me.
there's a reason they make so many different types of these things.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you definitely can't complain about there being options. So so that way, if you like canisters, get a canister. If you like uprights, get an upright. I mean, unless we're talking about a brand that just discontinued one of those categories, then you only have one option. But as long as the other option is really, really, really good, then maybe it's okay. But
And I think the best vacuum is one you're going to use that's not going to kill you with dust. I think that's also something, that's real important that you use a vacuum that regularly, because some people just never use them regularly because they hate it so much.
Yeah, and then that makes it worse, because then at that point they're not cleaning as often. Because I shared this video on the server at one point where it was like a video where it was like, oh, here's how you should vacuum. And it was basically saying, vacuum your room from top to bottom, so that way any dust from like ceiling fans and stuff don't fall down to the floor after you vacuum. Vacuum every other day, change your bag, clean your vacuum, like basic stuff. And they said that you should vacuum every other day, which, I
try to do every 2 to 3 days. Yeah, that's what I try to do.
I mean,
I don't
personally,
think that's normal for most people.
Oh yeah, personally, I vacuum every single day, if not twice a day. But I'm what you call crazy, so
We come by it honestly. Everybody in this server are all a little crazy.
we're all a little nuts in our own unique ways. So that's definitely not a bad thing. I mean, it's oh no, you clean too often. I've had some people like use that as like an insult. It's like, yeah, well, I don't vacuum as often as you do, and I'm like, is that supposed to be an insult? Because it did not work.
Yeah, well, that's part of the problem is people, they will insult themselves, or you see pictures sometimes. I see pictures of some people's vacuums, and I'm like, I look at the house, I look at the carpet, and you can see the carpet is filthy.
Yeah.
On Instagram, I think is the worst place I've seen that. Because I follow like Dyson, #Dyson, #clean. I follow all sorts of things like that on Instagram just to see what's going on, and it's really interesting to see how many people just have dirty houses and don't shampoo their carpet, because that's something that's really important too. Shampooing your carpet every 6 months to a year is super important.
If not often than that, I do it. I usually do it like every 2 weeks to a month at the latest. But that's just me.
I don't have any reason to do that.
I mean, I technically don't either, but I just like to, just in case.
I think I might wear your carpet out prematurely. I could be wrong about that, so don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
I also have stain-resistant carpet and animals that are well trained and stuff.
Yeah. I did have a brief stint where the animals weren't as well trained, so obviously in that case I had to exercise the machine a little bit more, but that's not a problem anymore. Because my dog, she for a while she had is it called an overactive bladder? So that was an issue occasionally. If she got scared or something, she'd piddle a little bit, and you had to clean up after her. But she's been getting really good at that. And she hasn't done it in a really long time, so it hasn't been an issue.
That's good.
Yeah. I love her. She's so cute. Ruby, get over here.
Pets are the best. Like
They are. They're so
really
much better.
are.
They're so much better than humans. Ruby.
they're definitely easier to be around most
Oh,
times.
for sure.
Girl, how are you doing? Oh,
You will be the dog.
yes, she is the dog. Hi.
The cute
Ruby. Who's a good girl? Who's a good girl? Here. You can get up here?
I don't know if you'll be able to get up here. Come on. Don't hurt me. Okay. There you go.
Yes. Who's a good girl?
Yes. Let's smack the desk with your tail. That's a great idea. So everyone else who's in the chat, how are your Dodges doing? Hopefully they're doing well. How are all the pets doing? Hopefully they're doing well.
Yeah, hopefully everybody has good, happy pets.
Yes. You're right, Woopers. Mwah. Good girl. Oh, you want a treat? You want a treat, don't you? Here, get down. Look at that.
There's so many dryer sheets on the ground.
Look at the fridge.
I'm still streaming.
Oh. But you still have your chicken out. You need to finish that. That Excalibur is nice.
Yeah. And
What'd you say?
hard to find the Excaliburs in my area.
Did someone say something?
Yeah, I saw you got an Excalibur, and it's really hard to find in my area.
Oh yeah, I got that from the vacuum shop.
Well, that's a good deal. $50 for it?
Yeah, I did pay $50, but he threw in a bunch of attachments with it, so I got a few turbo brushes. So actually, I'll show you what I got because I still got it. Well, I won't show because I got a wand for my Panasonic. Obviously, that's not interesting, so I'm not going to bother showing that. But I got this, which is a bit interesting. If I can turn the camera up on me, I got this. How this fucker got to the U.S., I don't know. But it's brand new. There's not a speck of dust on it. It was never used. I don't know what this goes to. Obviously something purple, and yeah, I don't know.
Man, I look on the UKX website.
Yeah, I don't know why this is so long or so swivelly. This looks weird. It's a really thin fitting too. It almost fits my Phantom, but not quite. And I don't know. I don't think I have anything else that would have a thin enough fitting.
Excalibur, or is it thinner?
That's a good question. Let's find out. Nope, it's actually the same size as the Excalibur.
Well,
So I guess if the Excalibur, like, if the attachments fit the other way, like a Panasonic or a Bissell, then presumably it would fit.
yeah, you could probably use. There's like a rubber cuff adapter. That's something else. It's a wholesale item from Esco you could get to make that fit.
Interesting.
That's any
In fact,
use.
I got a crap ton of machines right here. Let's see what it fits. Oh, and then the only other thing I got was an old classic wind tunnel turbo brush.
Oh, nice T-shirt, by the way. I just noticed Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Most of your audience is probably too young to understand who that is, but yeah.
Well, yeah. Even though they still make Sonic games, I know because he's obviously not a Nintendo character, but he's like almost a Nintendo character at this point because he does all the Mario and Sonic crossover games.
There hasn't been a good Sega game, Sonic game since the Dreamcast. That's still a controversial statement saying Avengers was a good game.
I will say that there was, well, I was gonna say, I mean, there were a couple good Sonic games, but the only ones that I can think of that you can qualify were just the newer adventure games, and that's arguably not even different than, the first two adventures on the Dreamcast anyway, so I don't know if you can technically count that. Because there's like was it Adventure 2 Battle on the GameCube or whatever it was?
Have you played Sonic Mania?
That sounds familiar. I don't think I have.
It's the fan-funded port of it's basically Sonic the Hedgehog 2 with more levels and stuff, and it's for the Nintendo Switch. It's a super cheap download. It's like $10 or whatever now.
I'll have to get that at some point.
I'd highly recommend it if you want a time waster.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest. I haven't been playing that many games recently anyways, and usually when I do, I'm such a basic bitch. I play one of two things. I play Grand Theft Auto, or I play my original Nintendo. I play something on my original Nintendo, be it Tetris, Mario, whatever the case may be.
Oh, you have a Super Famicom, or just a Famicom, or
the American Famicom? Yeah, original Nintendo NES.
Yeah, American Famicom. Yeah, original.
Yeah,
nice.
I have the Nintendo. I have the Super Nintendo. I don't technically have a GameCube, but I have a first gen Wii that plays GameCube. And
I have one of those too. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, I want to get a GameCube mainly because I want to get the Game Boy adapter. but you can never find the discs for those nowadays. The discs are always missing. So, which is so stupid. It's like, why did you have to have a stupid disc? I mean, what is the point of having that connect in the bottom if you can't just have it go through that and read the game? But whatever. But obviously no use bitching about that now.
Yeah.
But what else do I have? So I have, I got rid of my Genesis and a while ago when I needed some. This was like quite a while ago, and I regret that. But the only Sega system I have at this point is my Dreamcast, and which I never got rid of my Dreamcast just because it's in such good condition, and I'm worried that if I get rid of it, I'll never find one in as good condition again. So I still have that.
Oh yeah, they're hard to find. I was gonna buy one and just decided. I just went straight to an emulation instead because it was so hard to find one.
Right.
You have very powerful one.
But yeah, so I kept my Dreamcast. So I have basically mostly Nintendo, and then I have a Dreamcast, and then I have up until the 7th generation, I have every PlayStation and Xbox. So I have a PS2. Actually, I don't have a PS1 anymore, but I have both the PS2 and PS3 version that can play PS1. So, actually, every PS3 can play PS1, so whatever. But I also have a original PS3 that plays PS2. So, I can play
That's
PS2
cool.
a couple different ways. But it's really
We'll have to do
loud.
a tour of your consoles one day.
So, it's kind of funny because I did that. I did one of those videos a really long time ago. But I do need to do an updated one. But if you look on my channel, if you look up because my channel used to be called, because back when it was gaming centric, it was the stupidest thing ever. My channel name was That GTA Fan 720, and it was the dumbest shit that you've ever heard of.
Yeah, it's not even dumb. No, that works. That works.
I like it. See, I liked it, but it just sounded weird. But
well, if you have good content, name doesn't matter, and I think Mr. Penguins has established that.
Oh, formerly known as Critical.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good point, but I mean, people pretend like it's not even a thing anymore. Everyone just still calls them Critical, at least that I see. But yeah. So what was I saying? But yeah. So sometimes you can look back at like my previous videos, like when I was back before puberty hit me like a bus, and you can see where I have my whole setup with like at the time I had my PS4 and I had all the other stuff, but I got rid of my PS4 a while ago, and because I built a gaming PC instead, and so I don't have the most modern thing I have is the Switch because I sold my PS4 and my Xbox got stolen. So.
Oh my, that's sad.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like an Xbox One doesn't cost that much money nowadays, so it's not the biggest deal in the world, and I still haven't gotten it back because that system is very efficient and totally makes a lot of sense. But yeah, but that's no big deal because I just I either play my NES or I play my 360. That's usually just what I do. So
360 is a fun system. If you
really
get one that
is.
doesn't kill itself, fun system.
That's the thing. I actually prefer the old style 360, but I have the newer version after they fix the motherboard. So because I used to fix Xbox consoles like back in the day all the time, especially Red Rings. So I know those systems. I can look at a system for 2 seconds and figure out whether or not it's a version that's going to kill itself or not. And
well, they have you seen Modern Vintage Gamer did a great bit about why that happened?
Oh, of course, yeah. And yeah, so you can easily tell if you don't care about it not having Wi-Fi, or if you're gonna if you have an adapter and you don't care about it being an older system, you can save a lot of money by getting a last gen old version, because people are giving those things away. People just want the slims, and people,
that's the time to get them. Is when people are giving them away.
Oh yeah, so now's the time to get a 360 or a PS3 if you haven't gotten one yet, because they're already starting to shut stuff down. So if you want to get games and crap, and that's the thing that's kind of stressed me out about it, because there's so many games that I want and I can't get the patches. So obviously because I haven't gotten the games yet, and if you don't get them by a certain time, the server's going to be down, you can't get patches, which is part of the reason why I just kind of stopped caring, because it just got so stressful, and it just got to the point where it wasn't fun anymore. And I was like, I gotta get all these games before they shut down the servers, and it's a pain in the ass. I gotta keep paying for online, which is just ridiculous. and I just stopped giving a shit. Like whenever my PS4 locked me out of my account and I couldn't get back into it, like that was just the last straw for me. I was like, I'm trading this thing in. I'm building a PC. I'm done with new stuff. And
yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, that's a good segue to talk about when the best time is to buy vacuums, and I think that's when they're going on clearance or they're about to stop making them.
Yes.
The same sort of thing.
Yes.
You're gonna buy one new.
Which is why I'm kicking myself for because I'm trying to wait until I get like another paycheck so I can grab that Panasonic that's still NOS. Because I know once those are gone, it's going to be hard to get them. And arguably,
there's new old stock Panasonic?
Yeah, there's the newest version that they just discontinued on eBay. It's from the same seller that had those wind tunnel twin chambers, although I think those are sold out now.
I would be very cautious with that seller because they're stored outside in a non-temperature controlled area in some place that gets very hot and then very cold. Because you saw what happened with that Bosch I got from them, right?
Yeah, wasn't there the handle cracked, didn't it?
Yeah, the handle cracked and they refused to do it, and they have like 30 of them in stock. They could have opened up a box and sent me a handle and parted the other ones out and made a profit and didn't want to do it. And there was another guy on Vacuum Land who bought a Hoover wind tunnel from them, and same thing, it was cracked because it's been sitting in a non-temperature controlled area, and then they don't pack the things very well. They don't put it in a box or anything.
So are they just slapping a label on the box that it's in, or are they at least putting it in an outer box?
Nope, they're just slapping a label on the box that it's in, which was already beat up from how they stored it.
Well,
so yeah, they actually should be opening up the boxes, double checking it, and then packing it in at least an outer cardboard box. It's the bare minimum.
Right.
And I even sent them a message asking for that. So I would just say if you do buy something from them, just be very cautious. Understand that it might come broken and be prepared to deal with that. Because they're not going to... They'll take it back, but they won't actually fix it or give you money back. You know how some sellers will give you a partial refund or something like that? They're not going to do that.
Anytime something like that's NOS, I kind of go into it expecting that because presumably there's a reason why it didn't sell in the first place. So I obviously eBay's money back guarantee is usually pretty robust, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. But it can be frustrating if you're trading if that much money is trading hands for a machine like that and it can arrive broken. So
well, I've gotten screwed for thousands of dollars before on eBay, so I will say that their policy is not solid.
Yeah.
But we won't get into that. I will say just caution to the wind on that.
Right. Just know what you're getting yourself into if you do get one of those things.
Yeah. In fact, so we were talking about new old stock, and I was just looking online to see if I could find if anybody was discounting the Miele upright, because I gave mine to a friend as a wedding gift, and I kind of want to have another one. And there's actually some Miele U1 quick steps for sale around. So if anybody's been looking for one of those. Yeah. Have you posted that Excalibur to Vacuum Land? People are going to shit their pants when they see that.
No, I just... I haven't. But, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely should. People are going to go nuts over that.
I don't even have a See, because everyone's thought about, like, oh, this happened on Vacuum Land. Oh, this happened on Vacuum Land. And I'm like, I wouldn't know, because I do not have a Vacuum Land account.
Yeah, they're free, but I mean, in all reality, it's a dying website. There's only like 35 users on there now.
Well, honestly, the only reason why I never bothered to sign up for it is because the website is just ugly as shit. Like, honestly.
Well, it's like Craigslist. It's like an old school website. That doesn't bother me, but it is ancient. It is ancient. There's no denying
it. It just hurts my eyes so much to look at, and it's just like, I don't want to... This is so stupid. It's like, if they modernized the website a little bit, if they added some better moderation, because I know we've all bitched about that, it could be great. But obviously, all the people that are on Vacuum Land and aren't, too insane have since migrated to, Discord servers and Facebook groups. So
absolutely,
because everyone that I know,
Nathan, who runs the one Facebook group, is an excellent guy, and he's doing a great job with that group.
Yeah, well, I'm in quite a few. Jesus Christ!
He runs the bigger one. There's like 1,000 people on it. I'm trying to remember.
What are you doing back there?
So much noise in the background. But yeah, I mean, because I'm in quite a few vacuum groups at this point. There's only like one or two that I'm somewhat active in. I forgot the names because it's like vacuum group, vacuum club, collectors group, or fix a group or whatever. I can't remember any of the damn names.
I can't remember the name either, and I'm never on Facebook unless I'm posting a link to a video and scheduling videos. It's the only time I'm ever on Facebook. I don't use that website.
I don't even advertise my channel on Facebook because I just kind of gave up on that. But I probably should.
They want you to pay them to get views. It's a whole fucked up thing with Facebook.
Yeah, I had a Facebook page at one point, but it's like the separate app that you had on your phone to like manage pages was just so clunky and it just never worked right.
They've made it better. No, they've recently improved it. It's got a new name now.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't actually have any of the Facebook apps installed on my phone. Don't do that. They're too invasive. They turn like the camera on and stuff without your permission.
Yeah. There's there is a way you can usually depending on your phone. There is a way you can get around that, but I can understand why people don't want to mess with it.
Yeah, you can tune other apps to do that. Facebook will ignore those permissions though. There's a whole thing that there's been like lawsuits and stuff over that. Yeah, like I remember I was at a wedding with one of the Facebook developers, and she was telling me, like, she worked for Facebook, and she's like, no, don't ever have this stuff installed on your phone. Like, she told me that, like, in person, and I was like, okay.
Well, I mean, if there's one person to trust about that, it's definitely her.
Yeah, so I thought it was interesting that the big tech person told me no.
Yeah.
On that.
I mean, see, my whole thing on that is because I used to be the kind of person where I was like, oh, no, I care about all my privacy and I don't want any of this stuff happening. But I'm like, look, well, first off, when you become I guess you could argue that we're public figures. When you become a public figure or something like that, you kind of forfeit those rights to an extent.
Yeah, you kind of do, because you have to share a certain amount to...
Right, and I just kind of got to the point, I'm like, look, because people are like, oh, I don't want that smart home stuff, I don't want Google listening to me. I expected it to go off, but it didn't.
I think that's actually a fair thing. I think there's a fine line between that. I think some people go overboard, like you were talking about with parenting earlier. Some people just go overboard with that whole subject, and it's right. You got to walk the fine line.
Well, I mean, my sort of thoughts on it was I used to have that mindset of like, oh, I don't want to deal with any of this, but I was kind of like, look, they're getting my data no matter what. So at the very least, if they're going to get it, I might as well get some good use out of it and get some convenience, right? So, because at least I'm getting something in return, and they're not just making money off me with, no advantage for me. So, at least if I use maps or whatever, I use the Google Homes and stuff and the smart doorbells and all that hickory horse shit, then at least I can get something in return for my investment, so to speak.
So, I have to say, video doorbells, that's an industry that's gone crazy. Like, I've always had just cameras around my house, but like, the whole video doorbell industry is huge right now.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many, that's a whole interesting subject.
Yeah, if you go to Best Buy or something, there's like an entire section dedicated to smart doorbells and smart home stuff at this point, which makes sense.
I haven't been in a Best Buy in years.
I love Best Buy, but that's just me because I'm a huge tech nerd and all that stuff. So I love going there and just being like, oh,
I used to love it as a kid, and then they stopped carrying a lot of the good stuff, so I kind of stopped going there.
Right. I miss because people think I'm saying this like as a meme, but I unironically miss Circuit City.
No, Circuit City had a good appliance section and vacuum section.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing these Dirt Devils as a kid there and thinking that they couldn't compare to the Electrolux. And my mother would, of course, mention that. She's like, no, our Electrolux is better. It wasn't until I started working in the vacuum industry that really became an actual thing. I was like, oh, yeah, that's absolutely true.
Mother's always right.
How much would you pay for a Dyson DC-26 City?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I don't know, honestly, because I haven't seen one in so long.
They're super rare. Oh my god! Like there's one for sale in my area here. I'll send you a DM. Let's just see. It's the cutest little thing.
I love. Yeah, I've always wanted those just because I think they're just so adorable. But there's not too many Dyson canisters that I want. I mean, you've convinced me to start searching for a 22, And
Oh yeah, 22 is so elusive to get.
But,
My friend who has one, he bought one new at the VDTA.
but yeah,
He has one.
I'm at the point where I basically want like every one of Dyson's first original canisters. So I want an 11, I want a 22, I want a 20.
Oh,
Not
the 11s get beat up so bad.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's really sad.
And they're hard to find too because they only sold them for like 17 seconds. So
Yeah, they actually sold them. They came in the country before the DC-07s, actually.
I don't. Are you sure about that? Because
I am 100% positive about
because the 11 didn't exist when the 07s first came to the States. Because the 07s came to the States in 02, and the 11s came out in 04.
So they didn't come to the States in 02, though. We got new old stock that were that old, but they weren't actually sold to the public at that time.
Really?
It was 2003, 2004 when we first got our Dysons here.
Are you?
I mean, that's just what I remember, because I remember where I worked at was one of the first Dyson dealers, and then they had been in the country for about a year.
So here's my hypothesis on that, because I know that they were sold in 02 to some capacity because I've worked on ones that were made in 02. And in fact,
we got new old stock that was that old, but we didn't actually get them till later. Those were from were sitting in a warehouse.
Oh, so you're saying they started making them in 02, but they weren't actually distributing them until 04.
Like 03, 04. It was
Yeah.
like late 03, 04. And then the first person to distribute it was Sharper Image, and then Sears, and then everybody followed. Then it just became a sensation.
Well, that makes sense, but the only thing I can think of that, because the reason why I say what I'm saying, because obviously I don't remember seeing them in stores back then, because no shit, I was 2 years old. But what I will say is that I've been looking back on the Wayback Machine on the archive, and I'm pretty sure you could buy them from the website in 02. Let me just look while I'm actually on the call with you so we can actually see it, because maybe most of them sat in a warehouse, but maybe the first ones they sold were online, and maybe maybe that's where the 07 came out first, before the 11.
Because you would think it would come out, but that's when I remember seeing them. Who I remember seeing them by.
It is
possible they could have sold them directly online to a very few select people. That's possible too.
What you say about I do think it is entirely possible that maybe the 11 was the first Dyson that appeared in a store. I think that is entirely possible. But as far as it being the first Dyson in America, I would strongly argue with
that's something I guess I should clarify. Is I did mean by like store or like mail order catalog that was widely advertised.
Right.
Like
or if you say the first canister Dyson, then
not canister, I mean like actual, like they were around before the upgrade, and then I remember seeing the upgrade and thinking that made more sense.
Right, because what, 17 people bought that 11?
You're probably right, and I've seen 3 out of those 17 people.
But yeah, let me go.
I have to go. I hate to go, but I have to go eat dinner. My wife just got some noodles ready.
Ooh,
awesome.
Yes, definitely. Noodles are more important than me, and I say that unironically. So please go leave.
No.
Yes, please go enjoy noodles.
It was a great talk with you as always, Tracy. Have a good day.
You too.
And, let me know what
care.
you find on the Wayback Machine. Send me a DM or something.
I will, because I've actually been on the Wayback Machine, because I've been looking at like the release dates for all the Dysons based on the archive pages. So this is fresh in my mind, and I will let you know what I find if I find something that contradicts what you said about that. So,
but that was what I experienced.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm not arguing against that.
But it's possible.
Oh yeah.
Have a good night, Tracy.
Yeah, you too. You take care. All right. Okay, let's get back to some DMs. Or not DMs. The chat. Jesus.
Yeah, chat.
Oh, jeez. There is so much crap that I just missed out on. Sony SLRs, blah, blah, blah. Dirk Double Quick Cyclonic. Okay. Phantoms. Phantoms are owned by Kenmore. No. Phantoms are new. Phantoms are by, or if you can call them new in the sense of Phantom, they're owned by Europro, so by Shark Ninja. Let's see.
But
DC 26 City is cute. I'm looking for DC 17. So am I. I have an early UK made DC 07. Yeah. UK DC 07s were released in 01, and US ones were in 02. Or at least they were made in 02. Maybe they weren't released, whatever. We're still hashing that out. But, because obviously I'm not trying to say that, like, what Alex said is incorrect, per se. At the very least, because he said that was his experience. We will see. I'm looking at it right now because I want to see. And even if it is true that they sold the 07s first, what he said is still true to a degree, that the 11s in a sense came first, because I'm sure they were the first in a store, or at least the first canister. But let's see. When I got some links from him and Praise. No, sorry, text. Yes, I almost got them ready. What ones do you have ready? Okay. And then, oh, there's a 26. Hell yeah. Oh, it's in Denver. How am I supposed to get one in Denver? I mean, I guess if he wants to do the same thing that I'm doing with Michael, where it's like if he wants to pick, if it's a good price and he wants to pick it up, and I'll just grab it from him. But I don't know. We'll figure that out. Let's see. Where is this? I can't even grab this. I can't even grab this window because of the stupid. No, yeah. I don't want to. I have no way to grab this window. There we go. Okay. Raised by different parents? What? Oh, I just realized I'm still on the face. I'm not on the actual capture. So let's look at this. Okay, we've adjusted the chat. Now let's... this is all messed up from it changing from Arrow to Basic. Let's see. Okay, we're on the DC 21 page. So we're just gonna go Dyson.com, which we'll have to go back. We'll have to go to like late 2000. I believe it was October 2002. When did I have this?
Yeah, in 2007.
No. I'm saying, when did I have? Because I was writing down all of these. The dates for all this. Let's see. October 2002. So I got to go back to October 2002 for this and find this. Let's see. Kenmore doesn't own Phantom, but Kenmore produced some Phantom machines under their name. Yeah, like the Drytech and the what was it called? The Destinies. Yeah.
Yeah, Destiny, yeah. Oh, yeah, I think I told the last comment that Kenmore's made by Sears, not the Phantom, but they're wrong, so. Is it Phantom by Lona or something?
Iona, yes.
Yeah,
Iona
right.
is Phantom, because they were called Iona, and then they rebranded to Phantom Technologies.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, Dyson.com. Well, that's the newest one. I need the... Here, let's just go to the actual page. Okay, let's see. Dyson.com. 2002. What do you know about the Drytech? I have one and would love to get some further input. Well, I have one too. So, honestly, if you want more information about the Drytech, go watch Michael Kresner's. Is that how you say it? Michael Kresner's video on the Drytech. He has 2 of them, and I believe he has more info than I would. November 2002. Let's see.
Wait, is that also the Phantom? Why he has that Phantom captured or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would find the captured Phantom or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know high hopes for it. I don't know if I'm interested or not. I don't know.
Let's see. Let's control scroll up on because obviously this is designed for a much lower resolution monitor. Let's see. So am I able to actually purchase? Are these not purchasable from the website? Obviously they're not now, but I'm saying would they have been then? Let's look at the low reach. Let's see, because this is December 7th, 2002 is what we're at on the way back machine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here we go. Buy online from Dyson Direct Inc. Yeah. Retail. Yeah, here we go. Click here if you would like to receive an email when Dyson is available through retail locations. Okay, yeah. So these started out in 2002 being available online direct from Dyson. Yeah, they're also called the Iona Nova Dry. So they went under a few different names. Wow. Okay, yeah. So both Alex and I are both correct. So he's correct about the 11s being the first ones in stores, because I have yet to see any store that carried the 07 before, like he mentioned, Sharper Image carrying the 11. So, but as far as being available in the country as a whole, no, the 07 did come first, and obviously Dyson started them out online, because I mean it says right here you can either buy it from Dyson Direct Inc. or call the number and buy one over the phone like you would a Phantom. So, yeah. So I think I'm gonna screen cap this and send this to Alex so we can see it. Let's see, how far back does this go? Let's see. October 24th, 2002. Ooh, that page is broken. Okay, well now... Oh, I see, DC06. Okay, so now we're in the UK page. So... And now we're back to American. So October 24th, 2002. Enough to work with. Yeah, so this is far back. Yeah, so it says it's out of stock. Well, obviously it's out of stock now. Let's see, is the all floors going to be any different? Oh, here we go. October 2002, available through Best Buy stores and Conran. Yeah, okay. No. So the 07 is the first, not only online, but okay, so I'm glad I clicked on this one. So, and then what about the animal? Is the animal the same way? Nope. Yeah, no. So the first Dyson was the 07 all floors. Okay. Yep. So, oh, wait a minute. This says 2003. Well, that's still before the 11. How far back does this go? Oh, that doesn't show the date. That's December 5th, November 5th, October 5th, 2002. Here we go. October 24th, 2002. So this was definitely before the DC-11. And, yep, at Best Buy and Conran. So those are definitely two stores where this was sold in 02 before the 11 was. Wow. That's interesting.
Yep. Honestly,
Right.
Is it cost like $400 brand new, or is it just the cost of that same price?
Yeah, 400. Well, when these first came out, they were a little bit more expensive. So this all floors was 419, but after like a year or two, they went down to 400, and then most of these were sold at 400 MSRP. So until, or at least they were sold at 400 until they got discontinued, and the 14 then went down to 400, and then the 33 went down to 400. So it was the starting point Dyson that started at 400. So just gonna.
Wait, is it DC-14 came out in 2005 or 2006?
The DC-14 came out. So let me look at my spreadsheet here. The DC-14 came out October 2004.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I thought the one's the DC. I thought the one's 2005. Like I was confused about it. Well, I know the DC-07 came out in 2002 or something like that, because honestly, UK Dysons and US Dysons came out both of them for the first time.
Right. DC-14 came out in 2004. Yeah, so I have all these. Now, these are based off of the Wayback Machines. So in theory, that's why some of these aren't actual dates; they're just months. But and then recently I started putting dates. Now, obviously, because the Wayback Machine doesn't archive every time the website changes, you know, if there is a snapshot where the machine is there, and then the previous snapshot that's like a month prior doesn't have the machine, then you at least know for sure that the machine was released during those two snapshots. So like within like that month time frame. So at the earliest, so the DC-11 could have came out in March of 2004, but it was not on the website prior to then at all. So it didn't, and obviously it would be on the website if it had been released to some capacity. So the DC-11 at the minimum, or at the earliest, was March 2004. So, yeah. So, let's see. Save as.
It's a longer shift than usual. Are you working longer than 4-hour shifts this week? I know.
There we go. Okay.
Wow, I'll just stop talking.
So I'll send that to Alex at one point. Why don't you buy a fog machine and do a fog test on your vacuums for video? Because fog tests are useless, and they don't actually give you any sort of real indicator of filtration. I mean, they do to an extent, but it's just not, it's not as simple as, oh, if there's fog blowing out of the machine, that means it's going to suck at filtration, or vice versa. Yes, I am at some point going to get a particle counter, even though I'm generally like, I don't want to do like airflow box tests and all that stuff, because my reviews are usually based off of actual usage. But the one exception I will make to that is I am interested in testing vacuums. I actually, that's kind of the point of my channel. But yes, like, because I do with the reviews and stuff. But I do think that the one piece of testing equipment that I think would be relevant to me is the particle counter, because I do want to do particle tests on machines that other channels don't have, like the ClearTrack, like the Excalibur, like the Phantoms, and like the new Bissells. A lot of stuff that people haven't really particle tested, with some exceptions. But because I know some of those Bissells have gotten particle tested on Vacuum Wars, but I do want to get a proper particle tester and test a lot of these machines that a lot of other people don't have. So let's see, and I may and I don't really want to get one of those suction gauges, like the working vacuum gauges, because suction does not always translate into actual pickup performance. At the very least, I mean, yes, if you have good suction, it's going to help for above floor cleaning, but it's just that people will test working vacuum, and that's great for tools, but it gives you no indication of how well it's going to work on floors, and that's where airflow box tests come in. But those have their own problems in of themselves. Now, don't get me wrong, because I've seen people talk crap about people using airflow box tests. Even though airflow box tests aren't the best, because you have the I forgot what the terminology is, but where it's like where you have a lot of air turbulence. Airflow box tests are still good in the sense of, as long as the machine's sealed properly, then or at least sealed to the same degree on every unit, then you're at least able to use that as a way of comparing it to other units, even if you can't necessarily compare it to other people who've done different types of airflow box tests. So as long as the factors between the machines that the person is testing is identical, or at least enough to where it would keep it within margin of error, then airflow box tests can be useful in that sense. But they're still not the best way to actually gauge a machine's real world performance. Honestly, you want to know the best way to test a machine's real world performance? Use it in the real world. Run it through your house for a week and report back on the results. Like, there's only so much that you can do to try to artificially substitute for actual real world testing. And ideally, if you have multiple houses, or if you have houses with many different types of floor materials and many different types of, above floor cleaning applications, that's not even on my camera, then that's the best way to actually judge that sort of thing. So, that's why whenever you get a new machine, it's best to just run it in your house, make it your daily driver for a week. And now, obviously, you don't want to, or even put colored sand in a black carpet. Well, see, that works to an extent, but it's still not analogous to an actual real-world performance, because you don't know if whenever you put the sand in the carpet, you don't know if you didn't embed it as good the first time around as you did with a different machine. And you don't know if those factors are messed up and you gave one machine an unfair advantage and another one not. Like, there's not really a good way to measure that. And, so, and I'm not saying, now, don't get me wrong, all of those different testing methods are fantastic, at least in the sense of it's really interesting to see people use these testing methods to test vacuums, even if they're not ideal testing methods. It's still something that's really cool to see, and I like it when people try to do that as a way of, just having some sort of way to compare machines and see how well they work in different avenues. I think that's wonderful. But that doesn't necessarily mean that because this got a good amount of working vacuum, that means it's going to clean the best if it got the best working vacuum. That doesn't mean that if it did the best on an airflow box test, that it's going to be which I guess is also kind of related to working vacuum, not working vacuum, but water lift, then that means it's the best at cleaning carpets. It's really, there's so many other factors that can play into it. And that's why, again, the best way to test a machine is just run it through your house for a week. See how well it does. And if you have enough machines, if you have enough experience with machines, then you should be able to at least give, a rough idea about whether or not it got as much stuff as a different machine that got a similar amount of dirt out of your carpets and off your floors. Assuming that your environment is relatively consistent from week to week, then that should be perfectly sufficient enough to at least say, if your house is like mine, this either is or isn't going to work well for you. It's honestly that simple. People are trying to overcomplicate this stuff. And I get why, because they want to do a quick review, they want to get a machine. That was a loud motorcycle. But
Oh,
I didn't realize you were still on the call. But
yeah, I'm still here, but I was quiet.
Yeah, the Shark Apex has really good suction and airflow, but it only cleans all right, so it's not always suction and airflow related. See, that's a great example, and I can say that because I own an Apex. I own both versions of the Apex, although my 0M version isn't working that well. My standard Apex works beautifully. It works very well, and the dual clean system on it works very well. I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people disagree with that. They're like, no, it's not as good as straight suction. In my experience, the dual clean works very well, at least in my house. And the deep cleaning performance is okay. It's not horrible. I've definitely seen worse, but it's also nothing special. There definitely are machines I have, including machines that are a fourth of the price, that do better at deep cleaning, which is unfortunate. But, and again, I'm not going to turn this into a Shark Apex review, but that's a good example. The 0M giving you problems. Well, oh yeah, the 0M version is giving me problems, but that's just because that 0M version was always messed up. And I mean, obviously it was one that I got broken from a customer, so I can't be mad at the machine because the customer broke a machine. But it is frustrating that that it keeps having problems. Even though, again, I'm not going to be the person to say, oh, Shark sucks, because it's like, now Shark does suck, but for separate reasons. But I don't know what the environment this machine was in prior to it coming to me, so I don't know if it was abused. I don't know if it was running a long time with being clogged. I don't know any of that. So there's not really any way to tell. Apex got everything right except the brush roll doesn't spin super fast, so it doesn't deep clean super well, and the cyclone design is just not the best. See, look, here's the thing I will give Shark, because a lot of people have complained, and I used to complain about this too. I was like, oh, Sharks used to have 21 cyclones, and now they just have the, now they have filters that trap dust, just like all these other budget machines. It's too simple of a filter setup. It doesn't work right. Here's the thing. I'm actually now that I've been using Sharks more and more, I actually like the filter setup a lot better than I initially did, because it's so much easier to...
This is your dinner. I'm your helper and I'll garden potatoes.
Okay.
I'm going to put it in the fridge.
Yay.
But yeah, so... What was I saying? I've actually begun to appreciate the system in the Shark a lot more. Now, don't get me wrong, I still prefer a bagged machine. Like, don't get it twisted. I still would prefer a bagged machine. I still hate how on Shark machines you get the back dusting from the filters on the bottom of the dirt cups. That's really frustrating. But while the filters do get dirtier more quickly than with the 21 Cyclone setup, there is still less to deal with, if that makes sense. You have to clean the filter more often, but there's less stuff to worry about cleaning because you don't have to worry about cleaning out that Cyclone assembly because those Cyclones got clogged up very quickly. And while they are easy to remove and clean, you know, in the sense of removing them to clean them, the actual process of cleaning them out is a lot more difficult than I initially thought it was. And that does make it to where just having that little grill on the inside of it, where if crap gets caught up in there, you don't have to reach your hands up in there, you just open the other side and dump it out. I've come to appreciate it a lot more recently. Jeez, I could not find that word. So yeah, I've begun to appreciate that a lot more recently, and because I used to like, oh, I want to find an old Shark with the 21 Cyclones, and I'm like, I don't know if, you know, I still want to get one with the 21 Cyclones just to check it out, or really what I want is an Infinity, which I know people say, oh, the Infinities are crap. I want an Infinity because I think those are really cool machines.
Yeah, Infinity is made by Shark, right?
Made by Europro, yes.
Yeah, Europro, yeah. I saw those I saw those from the commercial. It's like, yeah, I saw those Google all the time. I just don't grab it.
Right.
I usually.
That Noah.
Yo, what's up?
Let me go
Hey,
back
Noah.
to this.
Yo.
But Europro's is so cheap, but it's made by Shark and Phantom at the same time.
Yeah, I have a Europro vacuum mark. I can't remember what it was called again. It was like one of those weird looking shark ones.
It was Europro X.
Yeah, Europro X.
But no one wants to buy it.
Nobody buys it, I'll just buy it.
Yeah, I still have Shark for it to walk it.
Yeah, that orange shark rocket.
The only Shark I have is the NV352, I think. That's the only Shark I have.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know someone got that Navigator with Doy Healthy Home Edition.
Yeah, I got one of those.
Yeah, do you use it or is it still brand new?
It's still brand new. I haven't bothered to use it because I've been testing. Well, because I already got the review on it done, so I don't need to use it for review purposes.
Yeah,
and I use my 0M on occasion, and I used my Navigator swivel upstairs because I'm doing the review for that. And I've been using the Apex, and frankly, that's already too many Sharks to use in someone's home. So,
dude, I thought the Apex died.
The what?
I thought the Apex 0M dual clean died.
No, not the 0M Apex. The normal Apex, the non 0M Apex. I've been using.
The non 0M died, right?
Yeah, or no, the 0M one died. The non 0M is working. I have both variants. The Apex.
How did your M1 die?
It just never worked right. Whenever I got it, the 0M, the issue with it is that there's something wrong with the wiring in either the head, either the base or the wand, and as a result, the power head is intermittent. It'll cut in and out, and it won't consistently work. I'm pretty sure it's just the wand, but I still haven't bothered to get a replacement for it yet.
Dude, I think it's a short. I think it's a shorted.
Well, it looked to me like one of the pins had somehow gotten bent and pushed in, and as a result won't make a good enough connection. That's what I think is happening.
Dude, you ever seen Hank's garage? He
Yeah.
just made the rotator lift away. The brush motor not working, not clicking enough, and he just like connects to the two white wires, and it works just fine with the upright position.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you can do the same thing in the Apex though, but it's going to be hard to work on.
And those things are heavy.
But I never owned Apex. I think I own several of these rotators, navigators, and I sold a lot of them, several of these things, but I just don't like that. They're really cheap and they're not good quality. But they're okay in general.
Mm-hmm.
So
The main issue that I have with Shark is just that they don't provide schematics, so it's really hard to actually reference if you're trying to repair them at component level, and they don't offer proper replacement parts. They'll only offer, like, they won't sell you a brush roll, they'll sell you an entire cleaner head. They won't sell you they won't sell you like a seal on the vacuum. They'll sell you the entire hose, and I get why they do that, but it's really frustrating. And especially also the warranty. The frustrating thing about the warranty is that the warranty only covers the motor. So if you bought a Shark with a 7-year warranty and your brush motor goes out after 6 months, they're not going to help you. And then and that's frustrating. They'll make you buy a new cleaner head, and that's really frustrating with Shark. If they honestly, and they're not the only ones to do that, but it is frustrating that they're probably the most common brand that does that, because Shark has really gained a lot of popularity in recent years, and that's really frustrating because people are essentially, whether they mean to or not, they're supporting that anti-repair philosophy. And that's the biggest thing that gives me pause in recommending Shark, because otherwise the vacuums in some cases aren't too bad. There are some Sharks that truly are awful, but there's other ones that are pretty okay. And and I could totally recommend them for certain people, but it makes it harder to do that whenever you have issues with finding parts and with support. And that's why I always say, it's like, look, if you don't care about finding these parts, if you don't care about running into these issues, then go ahead and buy it. And whenever I do the Apex review soon, that's what I'm going to mention. I would be like, look, if you have no problem with the fact that this may break in a short period of time and not be covered under your warranty, and you'll have to buy a replacement part for it, and you're okay with that, then go ahead and get it.
yeah. Well, some parts they always all out of stock every online and on Shark websites and stuff.
Right.
And they always not going to go get these because they only every people always call Sharks for that like what the motor die or something, or some brush stroke cuts off or the power head blow out, and it's not even worth like throwing away, just not worth buying parts and stuff.
Right.
And like, I think all the people, all of that practice makes sense because just because that shark products are never last longer, because it's just so cheap, because every time it breaks, and you never go get that parts again anymore.
Oh, wow. Alex just sent me the pic of the noodles, and yeah.
Noodles.
I'm hungry now, which is good that I'm already eating
Noodles
chicken.
do sound pretty good.
I am a slut for noodles. Anything pasta related, I just cannot get enough of it.
Yeah.
Tonight for dinner I had meatballs with noodles, I think it was, something like that.
Oh, I did the wrong thing.
Dude, I had steaks.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Or another Bissell.
Don't grab my titty on the camera.
The camera's turned off.
Oh, you're not streaming anymore?
No, I'm not I'm still streaming. It's just can you not see that it's recording the screen?
Oh. Did you just bite your tongue?
Yes.
Figured. Dummy. Love you though.
I just bit my lip.
Oh, your lip, not your tongue.
Ouch. Darn it.
That's not good.
Tarnation.
It don't sound very well.
Well, anyway, guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this stream real quick since it's 8 o'clock. I think I've been streaming for about 2 hours at this point. So,
Very good.
let's see. Oh, now everyone's talking about Shark and Dyson and their problems. I mean, to give Dyson credit, they've started making the batteries removable again recently, so at least that's good. Although I think some people were mentioning how it's hard to get OEM. Oh, excuse me. Wow, that was not supposed to happen. That people had issues getting OEM batteries, but I haven't looked too into that. I will say though that if my like free Honiture cordless has an easier time getting batteries for than a high-end $600 Dyson, that's definitely pathetic. But anyways, this is Intelitech Studios signing out. I'll see you guys in the next video and or stream. I know some people have mentioned this Excalibur. Jeez, I got the hiccups. You'll be seeing this Excalibur in a video very soon. And again, this is Intelitech Studios signing out. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream and the videos. And I'll see you guys in the next video and or stream. Have a good one.